Welcome back. We are in Genesis 26. So we just read about Jacob and Esau being born and kind of the bad blood that's formed from from Jacob exploiting Esau's kind of famished state and having him sell him his birthright. It's just a ridiculous move for a twin brother to do. But he did it. And so there's just bad blood between them. Now we're getting in a little more about Isaac and then a little more about Esau. Genesis 26. Now, there was a famine in the land besides the previous famine that had occurred in the days of Abraham. So Isaac went to Gerar, to Abimelech, king of the Philistines. So Abimelech must have been a younger guy because Abraham's dead now and Abimelech's still rolling around. Anyway, the Lord had appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Stay in the land of which I shall tell you. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath which I swore to you, to your father Abraham. And I will multiply you, and I will multiply your descendants as the stars of heaven. I will give your descendants all these lands, and by your descendants all the nations of the earth will be blessed, because Abraham obeyed me and kept my charge and my commandments and my statutes and my laws." So Isaac lived in Gerar. When the men of the place asked about his wife, he said, "She is my sister." Where have we seen that before? For he was afraid to say my wife, thinking the men of the place might kill him on account of Rebekah, for she is beautiful. It came about when he had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked through a window and saw, and behold, Isaac was caressing his wife Rebekah. And Abimelech called Isaac and said, "Behold, certainly she is your wife. How did you say she is my sister?" And Isaac said, "Because I said I might die on her account." Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." So Abimelech charged all the people, saying, "He who touches this man or his wife will surely be put to death." Now, Isaac sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold. And the Lord blessed him, and the man became rich and continued to grow richer until he became very wealthy. For he had possessions of flock and herds and grew and a great household, so that the Philistines envied him. Now all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines stopped up. The Philistines stopped up by filling them with earth. Oh, okay, nice. Then Abimelech said to Isaac, go away from us. You are too powerful for us." And Isaac departed from there and camped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. Then Isaac dug again the wells of water, which had been dug in the days of his father Abraham. And the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. And he gave them the same names which he had his father had given them. But Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found there a well of flowing water. The herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with the herdsmen of Isaac, saying, "The water is ours." So he named the well Esek, because they contended with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over it too. So he named it Sitnah. He moved away from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he named it Rehoboth, for he said, "At last the Lord has made room for us. We will be fruitful in the land." And he went up from there to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him in the night and said, "I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham." So he built an altar there and called upon the name of the Lord and pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants dug a well. Then Abimelech came to him from Gerar with his advisor Ahuzath and Phicol, the commander of his army. Phicol was also still rolling around. And Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me, since you hate me and have sent me away from you?" They said, "We see plainly that the Lord has been with you." So we said, "Let there be an oath between us, even between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you will do us no harm, just as we have not touched you and have not done to you nothing but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now blessed of the Lord." Then he made a feast, and they ate and drank. In the morning they arose early and exchanged oaths. Then Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. Goodness. Now it came about on the same day that Isaac's servants came in and told him that about a well which they had dug, and he said, "We found water." So he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. When Esau was 40 years old, he married Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. Elon. Whoa. Basemath and Elon? And they brought grief to Isaac and Rebekah. And this little note says, literally were a bitterness of spirit toward Isaac and Rebekah. So we find another kind of similar situation. Isaac's rolling around. He's got a hot wife. He's afraid that dudes are just going to kill him and take his wife. So he goes, he does the old Abraham trick and goes, "My sister." And then obviously everybody's getting all bent out of shape and being like, "Dude, what are you doing? You're gonna get us all killed and judged and cursed by your God. You're about to make us all trip up." Some things never change, bro. Always trying to hit you with the tricksters. Then they get into a big continual argument over these wells. They don't, and we'll see this pop up again after Joseph later. Just a little foreshadowing. We'll see this later with Joseph as the nation grows too powerful, or as Isaac's family is growing. His estate, his wealth is just multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, and he's hitting all the right spots for these wells. He's able to track the water underneath all these estuaries and stuff, or however it all works, and he's getting these wells and water springing up, and the land is lush, and everywhere he goes, the Lord is with him. They're like, "Bro, it's getting too much. It's getting too much. Take a hike." And they're covering up his wells, and they're doing all this little nasty stuff to him. And he's like, "Hey, look, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm just out here doing my thing. You're just player hating." And they're just being a bunch of haters. So they separate, and finally he's like, "Good, all right, now I got my own thing." And then they show up. And but everything's cool. And he's not harboring any animosity toward him, grievances of the past, all that kind of stuff. But hold on a second. They're not going tit for tat anymore. He's just like, "All right, water under the bridge. I want to live in peace. Let's just call this thing done and let's move on." And that's what they do. And they say, "Look, God's obviously on your side. I know we're being nasty and all that stuff, but we never did anything like super bad to you. We've been pretty good to you. Some of the other guys are not so great, but listen, we're going to not bother you. We just want to make sure you're not going to come back and bother us. Okay? Can let bygones be bygones. God's obviously on your side. You got no, we're not going to mess with you. It's a losing battle for us. And really, what do you have to gain from coming to destroy us? God's multiplying you all on your own. So let's just let it be." And they said, "Let's let it be. See you later." And then it just kind of throws in this little tag at the end that Esau takes Basemath and Beeri, and Judith, Basemath and Judith, as his wives, and they're just I reasonably upset. Isaac's wealth is exploding now. So Esau's right to half, or whatever he would be getting, maybe a little bit larger half of of his birthright. And they might even split it a little bit differently. Like he might have gotten almost everything, and Jacob gotten almost nothing. So now that stuff's really popping. Now it really means something. So he's not happy, right? He's not happy. This is the old, the wife splits with you during the, she hits you with the divorce when you're on the low, and then you split with her and you hit your Mega Millions, and now she's like, oh. Now that the money's up, now all of a sudden the birthright means something, right? So it's obviously Esau was wrong for selling his birthright. That was dumb. But Jacob is also super wrong for taking advantage of, a dude in deep starvation. But this is the thing, man. One of the things the Bible does not do, it does not whitewash any of its main characters. None of it. All the wrong that they do and all the right that they do, it's their plane. God is not sitting here using the best of us. He's using some of the worst. And both of these guys were pretty unsavory. And we don't really see. This is the kind of dudes that Isaac raised, So it's no real big brag for Isaac either. He's the promised seed of Abraham, and he raises two, kind of lousy dudes. At least at this point, we see some redeeming things about Jacob later. Just and then when we'll get to it. We'll see some just kind of how Isaac really just kind of falls off. No shade to Isaac, but anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Read your Bible.